You are tuned into my weekly talk radio TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day. Na, 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 na.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me. Oh. My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
And supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Malie calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
You are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But
the
I
answer.
surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. Or I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Get off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned into Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Amazon Music, Audible, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Streaker, Spreaker, you name it. I'm there. Why so many places? Because I'd like to maximize my splatter zone for more hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal, no K words on this show, no Kanye, formerly or now known as, because I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. Why not 100% of the time? Because no one is 100% happy. Otherwise, they're dead. And I don't want dead people watching or talking or listening. Instead, I want you to enjoy the very special guests that I've had these past 595, I believe. Let's do the banner here. Let's see. We've been on now. Let's see. Nope, we didn't change that yet, but I'll change that in a second. And it's been 594 consecutive weeks, I believe. And I am so delighted to always have someone that is interesting, or we're talking about topics that are going to help you up level your happiness. Fran Drescher wasn't here to talk about the nanny. She was here to talk about how to reduce your risk of cancer. If you'd like to watch any of those shows over again, free subscribe on my YouTube channel, which houses all 1,021 podcast shows. And today, it's I realized that on Tuesdays we've been having some great talent, some up and coming. I wasn't going to say uprising, up and coming talent, musical artists. Trace Austin, you know, is the son of my Friday co-host, Alon Carter. He is doing wonderful things. And then we had Layne Herron on, thanks to Pierre Patrick, my favorite talent agent. And today I am also bringing you new talent. He's aspiring. He's hitting the streets. He's got his first solo album, I believe, that is out. And I would like all of you to welcome to my studio, Mr. Chase Martinez. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me here, Dr. Marissa.
Absolutely. And the first thing we do is have breakfast. Are you ready for breakfast?
Oh, I'm good to go.
Yeah, you didn't know that, huh? Breakfast consists of taking a bite out of my gratitude sandwich. So there's a teacher that's in heaven now. His name's Dr. Wayne Dyer. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he said you will have an amazing life if you start every single day with 5 things that you're grateful for. I'm an overachiever, so I say 8, and 8 is a lucky number in Chinese. So I don't know if you knew that as well. We're going to get into your hashtag Asian Pride in a minute, but we're going to do 8 gratitudes. And the way we do it, and we have people in my cashew gallery this morning. Thank you for streaming in. You can do this on Facebook, on my LinkedIn, and of course, my Show Central on YouTube channel. If you free subscribe, you'll get an alert every weekday morning to tune in. So we've got Maria in here. We've got, let's see, Rex. Oh, someone new. And it looks like they're Chase. They're Chase fans. That's awesome. We've got Orville Nation from New York, PJ. We've got Maria from Colorado. So we've got the whole cashew gallery in the house, and they're going to also participate because they know the drill. 8 specific things that you are grateful for. So we do it really quick, one word. So I'm going to say I'm grateful for microphones. What are you grateful for, Chase?
Ooh, all right, let's begin. I'm grateful that I woke up today. That's one.
That's a good one.
Grateful for my family. Grateful for my friends. Grateful for my clothes. Grateful for the roof above my head. Grateful for being happy and well. Grateful for being able to do what I love, and I'm very grateful for being with Dr. Marissa today. So
that's yay! You know what? You are the first person who took it literally and came up with that many gratitudes. You get an award. I can tell already you're going to go very far. The fact that you could whip out things that you're grateful for that quickly and with sincerity and not make them up, I'm impressed. And it takes a lot to impress me. So again, I'm sure it's because of the Asian blood in you. I'm gonna take credit. I gotta take credit somewhere, but that's wonderful. And we have another Charlie Medelt. I don't know if I'm saying that right. He is also tuned in. Welcome to the show. Now, I'm just going to wrap that because that was 8. So I don't even need to go again, but I am going to say I'm grateful for this platform that I can bring young talent on, and then in maybe, I'd say less than 5 years, you're going to be on a national platform, and you're going to say, and I got my first major interview with the Asian Oprah
I can't
on NBC News Radio. But I am so delighted to have you in studio. And if you've just tuned in and you're wondering who's in studio today, this is Take My Advice, I'm Not Using It, Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa on NBC News Radio, KCAA, home to the Asian Oprah, here, the station that leaves no listener behind. And we're going to spend this next hour talking to a musical artist, Chase Martinez, after we do the bottom of the bun. Now, this time you don't have to do all 8. We're going to bounce back and forth, and I'm going to start it off. The difference between the top of the bun, which is gratitude, and the bottom of the bun, which is appreciation, is gratitude I define as things outside of myself. And appreciation, I believe, is one of the hallmarks of good mental health. Because if you think about it, especially teens, and I think you just finished being a teenager, you're 20, correct? Did I get that right? You're 20 years young?
I'm 26.
How old are you? I'm sorry?
I'm 26.
You're 26. How come I read somewhere that you were 20? Oh, well, you're 26 now. You were 20.
I was 20.
Now you're 26. Well, you look young. I think you and Trace have that forever young look. But
hopefully.
Yeah. We'll stick with that. Well, then the Asian skin and all of that. But I keep going to the Asian thing. I need to stop and back up here. But we're going to go to the bottom of the bun, which is, what do you like about yourself? Now, why do I say that? I don't know if you're who was the Asian in your family? Was it your mom, your dad, your grandma, grandpa?
It's both, actually. Both my parents are, yeah.
Both of your parents are Filipino and Filipina, right? Yeah. Okay. So I thought you have a little mixed look there. So I thought maybe there was something mixed in. But
yeah, no, I get that a lot.
You do get that? Okay. So people say that about me too. But
I can see that.
There's a saying in Chinese, the nail that stands up is hammered down. So I was taught at an early age, don't talk about yourself, Don't think you're all that. Don't, don't like yourself, right? Because that's like too selfish, too big of you. But the problem when you don't like yourself is your mental health is affected because you are always looking for approval in all the wrong places. You're looking for people to like you literally these days on social media. So the reason why we do appreciation on the bottom of the breakfast bun is so that you work that muscle of self-approval. And I think that it's so important, especially these days, so that you're not rocked by what people say. And I'm sure you get your fair share of criticism. If you put yourself out there, somebody's going to say something because they think they need to. That isn't the nicest. So it's important to know really who you are. And 88% of us is fabulous. 12% of the time I step in it because I'm not perfect. But I want us to really own the good parts of us. And that's why we do the bottom of the bun. Okay, you ready?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. I appreciate that I am enthusiastic. What do you appreciate about yourself?
I appreciate that I'm determined, for sure.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And I need you to turn your mic up just a little bit. I think something went, I'm having a little bit of trouble. All right.
Okay.
I appreciate that I am resilient.
I appreciate that I am a lover.
I appreciate that I'm a fashionista.
I appreciate that I am passionate.
I appreciate that I am funny. But looks aren't everything.
I appreciate that I am goofy, for sure.
All right, good. You're in the right place. I appreciate that I'm creative. That's my last one. Your last one is?
I appreciate that I am happy.
Yay. And that is my brand, Hope and Happiness. I'm glad you've tuned in. We just finished having breakfast with my guest, Chase Martinez. I hope that you continue this discipline, 28 days consecutive. If you have gratitude at the top and then appreciation before you go to bed, you're less likely to have a hard time falling asleep, and you will sandwich your day in the most positive way. Thank you for having breakfast with us. Maria actually gave us an entry of all 8 things. Oh, she's competing with you.
She is.
And she's grateful for so many things: lotion, spices, warm subs, ergonomics, history, animals, waters, and love. Thank you, Maria. You also get an extra special applause for all 8 things. And I hope you all approve of yourselves, because frankly, my dear, if you can't approve of yourself, how the fork do you expect other people to approve of you? Thanks for having breakfast with. And now we are going to learn more about this very, I don't know, cute. Are you offended if I say cute? Because
No,
cute's usually, no? Okay, good. Because I like the word cute, but I was told by my bonus dad, who's 93, not to call him cute because that's for puppies and babies. So I have to ask now, are you okay with cute? But you're okay with cute. So I'm gonna ask you this question this way. I don't have an answering machine. You probably don't even know what an answering machine is. But in the old days, we would have these machines that you call. But I don't have an answering machine. I have a questioning machine. So when you call me, I say, "Who are you and what do you want?" So, Chase, who are you and what do you want?
I'm Chase Martinez. I'm a singer, songwriter, and I want to be the next biggest thing.
Best biggest thing at what?
at music, and hopefully one day, hopefully acting. So that's my dream.
Wonderful. Now, take me back. When did you have this? This is what I want. At what point did you know? Okay, this is what I want to do.
You know what? Great question. Thank you. It was
Thank
like
you.
I was I think I was 16 or 17. I came downstairs once to my parents. I think I watched like a YouTube video or something. I can't remember. And then I just told them like, "Hey, mom and dad, I'm gonna be a singer." And yeah, that very moment, it was that moment because right then and there, I was being tested left to right. You know, from people not believing in me to people not getting approval to anything. The more people rejected me, the more I wanted it. And that was the moment for me. And to this day, that still drives me. So
Wow. Do you remember what the YouTube video was that you watched?
I think it was back then I was really getting to like motivational videos, and I think I was watching either an Ed Sheeran video, it was his documentary, or it was a Justin Bieber documentary. One of them.
Wonderful. Well, you're getting a compliment right already from Maria. She is a very appreciative person.
Thank you, Maria.
And she also chimed in. There's a little lag on the comment, so I didn't see this in time, but I just wanted to acknowledge that Maria is forgiving, imaginative, creative, curious, motivated, and focused. So that was part of the breakfast sandwich. And we have in studio today Chase Martinez on my newest series called Tuesday Talent, bringing you aspiring and soon to be big on the scene talent. And Chase is a singer, songwriter. You also play instruments.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, I do.
What instruments do you play?
I play guitar and I play piano. Those two are like my babies.
Wow. What age? Hold on 1 second. I have someone that wants to say hello.
Oh my God. Hi.
This is Pablo. Pablo has a question. At what age did you start singing and playing?
Oh, any question I'll answer for you, Pablo. I'm sorry, what was the question?
What age did you start singing and playing?
So according to my parents, they said I started singing since I was 3. Now, I don't have any evidence to showcase that. They're either saying that for confidence boost or they're telling me the real thing. I would never know. But for the second question, I started playing piano when I was 12, and guitar, I picked it up when I was 16. Yeah.
Wow. And are you self-taught? Did you take lessons?
Yeah. Everything I do is self-taught. So yeah.
Wow.
I wasn't obsessed.
So you've never taken voice lessons or guitar lessons or piano lessons? No?
I got to thank YouTube for that.
Oh, wow. Now that's interesting. I don't think I've ever met anyone who has not had formal training for all of it. So songwriting as well? You haven't had that? Wow, that's interesting. Now, you can hear him. He's asking another question. By the way, this is my grand dog's son, not my dog. It's my daughter's boyfriend's dog. And the reason why I'm bringing him on the show today, it is his last day with me before he moves to San Francisco. So I am so like sad. I literally am gonna take him to his mom and dad's after the show. So so that's why he's chiming in today.
Well, thank you for choosing this day, Pablo. I'm so happy.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so let's see. His question was, no, you mentioned hardships. You mentioned opposition. You mentioned, people have been helping you grow through opposition. So it's my belief that when we get grief or when we get pain, that it is actually helping us chisel. We get chiseled, just like a rock gets chiseled into a beautiful sculpture. And if we can embrace the pain, we can get to the other side where there's power. So talk to me about some of the challenges you've had. And the reason why I want you to do this is anyone who's listening, who's ever had a dream, and I think a lot of people have had dreams to be musicians, myself included, and to really hear from someone who 26 started when you were 3, not really, but started when you were, when you came down the stairs. How old were you when you told your parents, this is what I want to do?
I was 16 at that time.
16. Okay, 16. That's young. So what has happened since 16 in the last 10 years that has helped you grow?
Oh, a lot actually, but let me summarize it for you so it's not a whole biography.
Okay.
So right when I turned 17, I left my parents' home to go to London to pursue a dream, but with no direction. So I just went to London because I knew that's where the place I had to be in. And I think a couple of years from there, I worked and honed on my craft, even though I had rejections left and right, to the point where I did develop, and I got casted into a boy band. And that boy band, I was there for like 6 years, and that really took a whole new turn of my life. My life changed. We were signed to a label, we went touring, all of that stuff. So I was living my dream, and the struggle with that had its own way. Being able to not express myself, and I didn't realize I had so much to say, in my art, and just being myself as an artist. So, and then from there.
So the boy band, the name of the boy band was the If You Dare, right?
Yes.
I think I read that in the promo. Okay, so If You Dare. So, but let me go back. You moved from the Philippines, right? You were born and raised in the Philippines at the age of 16 or 17. 17, you said, right?
I moved to the UK 8 years old.
Oh, 8 years old. Okay, so your family moved to the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Okay, so you go to the UK, so you're brand new country. You looked different than most people there. Let's take a California minute and talk about that. So, because I was born in Canada, in a very small German town, so I looked different. I speak German because it's the largest settlement of German people outside of Germany is in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. So I look different. Did you get teased or bullied at all?
Oh, definitely, especially where I grew up. Right when I moved to the UK, we moved to this province where it was predominantly white, and I was the only Asian in my school. Me and my siblings were, so I had my own fair share of criticism, even racism. So yeah, I know how you feel, Dr. Marissa.
Yes, and I wouldn't change it for the world, because right? I knew you were going to say it teaches you what does when you get bullied. I know that we're definitely, Trace. I knew that was going to happen. Trace has an organization that is, very much about anti-bullying, but at the same time, there's value. What did you learn about yourself when you were bullied? What did you have to develop as a direct result of being bullied that you wouldn't have learned otherwise?
Wow, that's an amazing question. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's actually from my teacher, Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith, because a lot of us get stuck in the victim part of being bullied. So we feel bad. We continue to feel bad or angry
when there's an opportunity to actually grow bigger, better, brighter, and all of that. So what did you learn about yourself that helped?
You know what? As you can imagine, being the only Asian in a predominantly white village, white school, you kind of have, in a sense, identity issues because you're not really surrounded by your culture, even people that look like you. So, being criticized and bullied in that sense, even what you look like or what you eat, it was very confusing, as you can imagine. But it took a while. But I didn't realize that all I had to do was embrace who I am and love myself to the point that you love yourself so much to the point that people will start loving you the way that you love yourself. And that was the biggest lesson for me, because in a sense that was like, it was like energy, you know what I'm saying? If your energy on the inside is like, really like, it's really solid, where no one can really hurt you, like not even yourself, that's the energy you attract. Is what you feel is what you attract. And that was I learned the hard way, as you can imagine, through all of that, all the bullying and the criticism. But I will never, I don't regret anything. I don't want to go back, so it made me who I am today. So yeah.
And there you have it. This is why I know how to pick them. This is This is Chase Martinez here in studio with me, and he has just summarized why, because 7 out of 10 of us have had childhood trauma of some kind, we're the majority, that there's actually a benefit. I don't know many 26-year-olds. Did you say 26 or 28?
26.
26-year-olds who can actually say, and if you missed it, go back, free subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can hear very clearly the strength behind this young man who is launching his solo career now, that he knows the value of his past pain, the value of his past, having to deal with criticism and people who didn't believe in him. And I'm very, I'm validated in why I do what I do, and I teach what I teach, because there's so many people out there who have unique gifts, talents, and abilities, but because of that pain, they keep low. They keep revisiting poor me, or how could that have happened to me? But the real secret sauce of life is what Chase has just said, that I don't regret any of that. It has helped me become who I am, and I like myself. And that is what is, I believe, what is going to launch his career into the stratosphere. I feel I heard a little bit of your music, which, okay, I'm glad. When I first heard a little bit of the song, I'm like, that guy's not 20. You're writing about things that are way beyond your understanding. But now you're 26. Not to say that you, at a very young age, you don't experience things, but your lyrics are so powerful in a very, I can feel what you're saying. And I'm going to just pop up here. Tell me about your newest. This is coming out. It's already come out now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell me about what this is, Mr. Suave.
Yes, ma'am. Mr. Suave is my debut single. That was my launch as a solo artist, and I'm hella excited about it. I've been performing it. I'm very grateful for the opportunities that I've had. I've been able to perform that song, and it's actually one of the first songs that I've written. And yeah, I wrote that when I was at the stage where I was still finding myself, and I didn't realize I had a whole side to myself, and his name is Mr. Suave. So,
Who is Mr. Suave?
That's a good question. So Mr. Suave is, I want to say, is probably this side of me, probably an alter ego. What's up, Pablo? Probably an alter ego where he's very charming, he's very charismatic, he's hella handsome, and he knows it too. and yeah, he's just a side of me when he comes out, when he wants to come out. And yeah, it's very enticing, and he can be sexy if you want to be, you know what I'm saying? But
okay.
Yeah, it was really fun, like putting all of this together. So
all
yeah.
right, let's see if we can listen to a little of it here. See if this will come through. There we go. Let's see. What do I press here? If I press this, nope. Let's go to Spotify. I wanted to, here we go. Uh-oh. It's going to make me open this. Can you hear it? Oh, no, it's going to have to log in. Okay, so I'll try to figure this out. Let's see. Is there another way to listen to this? Oh boy, nobody wants to let me listen. So tell me about the whole process now as a solo artist. Actually, as I'm trying to figure this out, what did you, why did you take the break from the band? Is the band still in existence? Did they replace you?
No, actually, when I left, the band didn't want to continue, so.
Okay, the band no longer is.
No.
Okay, and so what made you decide to go solo, and what was that like?
You know what? It was a lot of things. At that time, you know, I was going through a lot mentally, and I felt like I needed some time for myself. But when I was in the band, by the end of it, I realized that, you know, because music is everything to me. I'm literally music on legs. And I really wanted to be able to express myself in all areas of my life, most especially music. So in the band, I feel like it was kind of holding me back in a way. Not necessarily music, but more like being able to express myself. So one of the reasons for leaving is because, yeah, I wanted to have a break mentally. And secondly, I wanted to be able to, you know, find a way to say what I want to say in whatever shape or form, my way and my point of view, whatever that looks like. And the transition from being in a band from nearly 6 years to myself was terrifying, Dr. Marissa. I can't tell you how terrifying that was. Yeah, it was very scary, and this song, Mr. Suave, kind of made it. Yeah.
Stop. Let me look at you for a minute. 'Cause damn, girl, you're so fucking fine. I was wondering if I could get to know you. Yeah. We could take it from there. We have all night. Why don't we take this somewhere? Ooh, ako isimbis that is suave. Mamita, mamita, oh grabe. Habulin ng morena babae. Araw man o gabi. Ako isimbis that is suave. Mamita, mamita, oh grabe. Habulin ng morena babae. Araw man o gabi.
Ooh, Dr. Marissa, we can't.
That was amazing. Yay!
so much.
Wow. That was self-taught guitar, right? Singer-songwriter, Mr. Chase Martinez, who is going to I heard a little Bruno Mars, I heard a little Prince, I heard a little, just like a real beautiful collection of sounds on there. And it reminded me of a friend of mine who was a past guest, who I will try to hook you guys up, Andy Varga, who is the lead singer for Carlos Santana. So that is like super impressive. I didn't hear the whole thing before. So let's see. She's Maria's saying she's a little out of the age group. I'm loving this. As a Latina, I enjoy music you can do the bachata with, or bachata, something like that. I don't even know what that is.
Marissa,
But yeah, that really was wonderful. Now, you just released this, or it's being released?
Yeah, that came out a month ago, actually.
A month ago. And how's it doing?
Going really well. You know what? Like I said, it was terrifying to put it out, but it's, the response to it has been amazing. So I'm very, very grateful for everything. So
Yeah. Thank you, Orville Nation from New York. He's saying great interview.
Thank you.
He's always so supportive. But yeah, so how do people find you? What is the way to sort of support you and follow your success?
Yeah, sure. So if you want to stay up to date with me and follow my journey, you can follow me on all my social media platforms at Chase Martinez Music. There'll be more music, more content. What's up, Pablo? More content, and yeah, definitely more shows. That's for sure. And yeah, if you want to check out all those things all in one, you can go visit my website at chasemartinezmusic.com. And yeah, it's gonna be one hell of a ride.
Yes, heck of a ride. This is Dr. Marissa, and if you've just tuned in and you're wondering what's going on in studio today, you are tuned to Take My Advice. I'm Not Using It. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, and my Show Central, which is my YouTube channel. Please free subscribe there, and you will get access to all kinds of content, as well as my newest series, Tuesday Talent. And my special guest, you just heard his first single as a solo artist, and we definitely wish you very, very, very much success in all your endeavors. Let's go to the Asian. I've been talking about the Asian and not necessarily addressing it fully. Kudos to your parents. Now, did they move from the Philippines to London specifically to help your music career?
No. Oh, that would have been something, huh? But no.
Okay. All right. I was trying to give them a little, but have they been some parents are very supportive, and almost to a point of they push people that don't necessarily want to do what they're doing. You know, the tout, like Brooke Shields' mom is like the most famous example. She didn't necessarily want to do it, but Corey Feldman, who's been on my show several times, he talks about his parents basically slave labor, forcing him to do acting and all of that he didn't want to do. That's why he emancipated from his parents. Tell me about, without embarrassing them necessarily, how has their journey been supporting a musical artist? And again, I want to bring this up for any parent who has a child who is an aspiring and wants to. And then I'll remind me to tell you a story about my dad and my music. So go ahead.
I see. Yeah, so this was an interesting phase of my life because when I came down, I mean, my parents, Filipino parents, the norm is like, all right, your auntie is here, go sing in front of them. Don't embarrass me. So the boys went like that. But when I came of age, where I started knowing what I wanted, that's when the test really came. And like I said earlier, I came downstairs and I told them I want to be a singer, and they just laughed on my face. So
oh, okay, not very encouraging at the beginning.
Yeah. So to summarize it a little bit, it was a lot of I want to say, I mean, everything's fine now, but I was disowned for a little bit after leaving my home and then staying with my uncle at that time because he lived in London. Yeah, he didn't believe in anything that I was doing until I started proving myself to the point it was a switch. It was like a light switch, like on and off. Immediately, I started gaining the support that I've always wanted. So I feel like I definitely earned that, and I definitely deserve that. So every support that I'm getting from my family, like, I'm very grateful and I'm very thankful to them. But I'm also grateful for myself, for my perseverance and just believing in myself. And yeah, so that's kind of the journey of that.
Yeah, lots of good advice there for anybody who wants to become a musician. That the most important thing is your belief in yourself, not other people's belief in yourself. It's your own BS, your own belief system in yourself that is going to make the difference in whether you're successful or not. And I think that's a great lesson that you've learned. You've obviously adapted it without becoming mad. I think too, I'll never forget that interview that Howard Stern gave that sort of broke my heart a little, because someone asked him, you know, how do you feel about the success that you've gotten? And his first response was, oh yeah, I would love to go back to all those girls who said no when I asked them to go on a date and say, see me now, see what you missed out on. And I was like, wow, that bitterness, right, which you could have against people who didn't support you from the beginning, you don't have that. Like, your energy is not that way. So I think that's almost a equally as important lesson, that the most important person to believe in you is you. And then wherever anyone else is, that's their journey. And what people think of you is none of your business. What people think of me is none of my business. And the best-selling author who actually wrote that book, Dr. Terry Cole Whitaker, has also been on my show, and I'm very grateful for that, because I think that is one of the keys to success in life. Because if you care so much about what other people think, you'll never do anything, because not everybody's going to like you. And even if you're good, even if you're great, not everybody's going to like you. I love Prince's story. You know, he came into town and could not get anyone to sign him, could not get anyone to want to do something with all of him. And then he finally finds one record label to sign him. This is Prince we're talking about. And he wouldn't sign with them because they said, no, you cannot play your own tracks. You cannot play all the instruments that he played. He knew how to play self-taught every instrument, almost every instrument. And because he wanted to produce himself, they wouldn't sign him. The only place that would sign him, he said, sorry, because they wouldn't agree to his terms. So I love that story. If that isn't the tantamount example of you gotta believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself, how the fork do you expect anyone else to believe in you? So that is, thank you for allowing me to make that point about your career. Now, I know that right now, with the way things are in the industry and how there are so many singers and so many people who want to make it. What makes you stand out? What is your unique, one of a kind, special sauce?
Okay, that's interesting. I want to say it's probably my passion. For me personally, because especially recent events where I've been performing, like I go all out in everything that I do, from the way that I sing. It doesn't matter what I'm singing about. It could be something like Mr. Suave, or it could be like a love song. You can physically hear that it's coming from my heart. You know what I'm saying? When you see me dance, like that's coming from a place like deep, like really deep within. And when you see me sing and dance, that's like the two of them merged together. Like it resonates like out of my energy, and I'm hoping that energy transcends and resonates through people. And I think, yeah, that's probably what's unique about me, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Now you were on X Factor, was it?
Yeah. Oh wow, I was. Yeah.
Now where was that? In
That
LA,
was in
X
the UK.
Factor?
That was in the UK.
In the UK. Is there a YouTube on that?
I think there is, yes, somewhere. But I was like 18 at that time. I like
Wow.
how I did
Wow.
it.
Interesting. Yeah, there's one YouTube with you. Now that you talked about your dancing, I'm really I want to kind of see the dancing, but I don't see anything on there easily accessible. So, but let's see what we've got in the cashew gallery here. Maria just followed you on IG.
Thank you, Maria.
And also on X, formerly known as Twitter. That's funny,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
This formerly known as business. We've never used that quite as much. Let's see, how much time do we have? We have a little more time. So let's see, what haven't I asked you? What haven't you told me that you would like to tell me?
Well, let's see. Well, first of all, I just want to be able to say thank you for having me here. I feel really happy that I'm here, by the way. And what I wanted to tell you was kind of something similar that I did when I was 17, leaving home to go to London with no direction. I did the exact same thing just recently. Came from the UK to go to LA with no direction, just with an ambition. And the fact that it's only been a few months since I got here, and then a few months I'm here with Dr. Marissa doing this interview with you. I feel like I'm definitely on the right track. So yeah, so I'm very happy that I took that leap of faith again. And now we're here today.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Now, it's an interesting thing. You just said one before that Mr. Suave is like your alter ego. So the sexy, smooth, ultra confident, ultra out there, take no prisoners persona. And you are, and this is where I see you're like Trace Austin's brother from a different mother.
Oh, wow.
Literally, because Trace is super polite, super sweet, super nice. All those things I could say about you. I know Trace a little better than I know you, but it's almost there's a little sweet shyness to you. So I'm guessing that you are a little bit introverted. Now, I don't know. That's just a guess. Okay, you're nodding. So I call people like you, because obviously I'm shy too. No, sarcasm is another service I offer. But you and Trace have that side of you that is more reserved, more quiet, a little shy. And then there is a switch that goes on. He gets on stage and he starts doing his thing, singing, dancing. You just talked about your switch that allows you to become that Mr. Suave. So, yeah. So how did that happen? You woke up one day as Mr. Suave, or how the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde? How did you come out with that?
You know what? That's a great question, because now that I think about it, my whole life I've always just wanted to sing and just I just own whatever it is or who I was when I suddenly hold a mic or being pushed on stage. I'm not myself, and all it needed was a name. So or in short, I feel like that person has always been there. He just needed an identity, and who that person is, and put him on stage, like, you know, that's his, like, you're living in his world for a few minutes. You know, when he sings, he's really out there. He, you know, that's a whole different person, and off stage is just, you get me. But yeah, no, that's definitely, I want to say, looking back now, like, he's always been there. He just
interesting.
Needed,
so I'm going to give you, I'm going to give you a little Dr. Marissa blessing right now. And I want you to really fully embrace that Mr. Suave is actually part of you. And this is something that we don't talk about, because we say, oh, we don't want to be like multiple personality or bipolar, or, you know, have voices in our head, because that means we're crazy. What I've discovered is all of us have multiple parts to ourselves, that the whole is Balance Center, Dr. Marissa Balance Center, Chase Martinez, who is the integration of you, the sweet, shy side of you, plus the ultra confident Suave, Mr. Suave. And that is how fully we can live. If we can live fully in the fullness of who we are, we all have that side. We all have the part that's not so good, the critical part. We have the part that's a little bratty. What do you mean I have to apologize? All of us have so many dimensions of ourselves. And isn't it wonderful that in life we get to explore, hone, and expand into all that we can be? And I think Chase, my very special guest today, is a great example of that. Who is your inner Mr. or Ms. Suave? And can you get in touch with them as my guest has done? I wish you the very, very best in your career. I support him. Go to Chase Martinez. Go get his Mr. Suave. Do a little dancing to his first solo. Here's to many more. Thank you so much. If you would do this with me, I close out every show with peace in, peace out, world peace through inner peace. This is Dr. Marissa. Now go and have the best day ever. And we'll see you tomorrow. Doctor's in the house.